Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to News 9. Tonight, youth wing of the governing National Democratic Congress erupted in protest as a recent Supreme Court ruling on the Pandai parliamentary election dispute sparks outrage in the NDC camp in the constituency.
It's a wrong gazetting. It's too gazetting. So we are demanding the court to re-look into this.
To forget your leadership, no, I'm Google Accra school, Papa, forget your
Yes.
They don't know the law.
Yeah.
We're live in the constituency with our correspondent for more. Also tonight, Chairman of the Council of Elders for the opposition NPP Hackman Owusu Agyemang calls for an end to monetization of internal party elections, warning the phenomenon could affect quality of leadership in the country.
It's not whoever has money that must be the party. And if it's reduced to finances or money, then we won't get the right person to lead the party. No.
We have details plus hear from the NPP on the allegations of vote buying and more in the just ended presidential primaries. Also tonight, Accra Metropolitan Assembly strikes hard on traders along the Kinbu stretch as its decongestion exercise enters day 2, with task forces seizing goods from non-compliant traders in business. Some expressed disappointment and concerns over the recent Supreme Court ruling on the parliamentary election dispute. The group pointed out inconsistencies in the Gazette notification relied upon by the new Patriotic Party candidate Matthew Nyindam and questioned the Electoral Commission's neutrality. They are also raising concerns about possible collusion between the Commission and the NPP.
Our demonstration is as a result of peace and to send a strong warning to our people that there should be a judicial review after 6th of February 2026. I can't give an answer to that question, but we are calling on our lead.
It will not yield any results you ask. It will yield because we are aware of what we are doing. We know we are right. We know we are right of what we are doing. We are aware. They should review it. Then with that,
Supreme Court reasoning and constitutional action. We respectfully await the reasoned decision of the Supreme Court scheduled for 6 February 2026. Should the reasoning raise other constitutional questions, the law itself provides mechanisms such as judicial review, clarification application, constitutional interpretation. Invoking these remedies, when advised by counsel, does not amount to disrespect, but rather demonstrate faith in the judicial system.
what we went to Tamale we talk about stealing, but not filing. But Honorable Matthew Nyindam went to Supreme Court that the filing time it was out. That the gazetting, and we are told that the gazetting is sent to the Supreme Court is a wrong gazetting. It's too gazetting. So we are demanding the court to re-look into this.
We'll definitely be bringing you more on this story later. But in the meantime, the chairman of the Council of Elders of the opposition NPP, Hackman Owusu Agyemang, has made a call for an end to excessive monetization of elections, especially vote buying in Ghana. His comments comes at the back of allegations of vote buying and intimidation that has characterized elections, but more importantly, the just ended NPP presidential primaries. Hackman Owusu Agyemang spoke to my colleague Mamiesi Nyamicha Thompson on the Joy News desk earlier today.
I believe that in the fullness of time, we should look at this thing very critically. Our ultimate aim is to let every member in good standing vote. The idea is, and we may be wrong, we are humans, is that when we have about 2-3 million people voting even for these primaries, then the issue of TNT, which is tantamount to inducement, as you say, I mean, it's a thing of the past. We believe that we have to keep doing and then changing our rules of procedure. This time, we try to expand the electoral college, but because a lot of them have died over the years, the figures were almost the same as it was in 2023 or whatever, last time. So it's a major problem that we have to resolve, because it's not whoever has money that must lead the party. And if it's reduced to finances or money, then we won't get the right person to lead the party. No, we have to make sure that we change the status quo eventually.
That's Hackman Owusu Agyemang. He's the chairman of the Council of Elders of the new Patriotic Party. We'll definitely be interrogating this particular development. But let's take you back to our earlier story, where the youth wing of the governing National Democratic Congress have erupted in protest as recent Supreme Court ruling on the Pandai parliamentary election dispute has sparked outrage in the NDC camp in that particular constituency. Let's bring in Stephen Bordeaux, who is the youth wing member in the Pandai constituency of the governing National Democratic Congress. Grateful for your time this evening. Why are you making those accusations against the NPP and the Electoral Commission?
I that the NDC candidate won the case genuinely at the Tamale High Court. And the NDC candidate goes to file the case at the Supreme Court, centered on the date of which the NDC committee filed his case in Tamale. Forgotten that he was the one that challenged the NDC candidate's initial date filed. And the NDC candidate filed another case. If you take a critical look at the case, he has gone to fraud the Supreme Court that he was targeted on 24th and not 23rd. But what he told the High Court is different from what he told the Supreme Court.
But the Supreme Court ruling clearly stated that the period within which they could have filed that petition, the period within which he filed that petition had elapsed, the grace period with which he had the possibility to file it, and that is why the court decided that they had to quash that case. Is that not a legitimate reason given by the Supreme Court?
We have not, our party have not read the reasoning of the Supreme Court. They are still awaiting the Supreme Court. But I have put it on record that the NPP candidate is challenging the date of which the NDC candidate filed his case in Tamale.
And what is that date, if you can finish us with it?
Unless we put that to our legal counsel.
You're also accusing the Electoral Commission of colluding with the new Patriotic Party. Do you have any evidence to back those claims?
I have not accused the Electoral Commission in collision with the NPP candidate. We are stating it on record that the Electoral Commission should come out with a stated date clearly and not conflicting the dates that the NPP candidate have used to pollute the High Court and came up with another date to the Supreme Court.
What happens now then? Because Matthew Nyandam has been reinstated as the rightfully elected MP of Pandai constituency. What are you going to do next?
The youth are angry because their vote cannot be denied. Pandai belongs to NDC, and he cannot subvert the will of the people. We in Pandai, every village, every woman, and every man is in love of NDC. But Matthew is in the media peddling falsehood information. And if he knows that he wins the election, that is why the High Court decided we should go for rerun. The 3,000 people he claimed that he claimed that they voted for him are still alive. They are not dead.
You say the Kpandai constituency belongs to the NDC. What do you mean by that? Because clearly, during the December elections that was conducted, Matthew Nyindam was declared winner, and in the past 3 elections, he's won twice.
The past 3, he came and won twice. That was when the people of Pandai stated clearly that Matthew have not won election genuinely. He has been going with all dubious means and winning. And that was why in 2020, the people of Pandai voted for Honorable Daniel Kalawa. Then he went back to state with the Electoral Commission, planned to spell that a date, and came back to contest, whereby the election was not declared in Pandai. Martin don't know where the election was declared for him. That is why all those reasons culminate why the people of Pandai are not content with any of the ruling because we want a genuine election, a rerun election in Pandai, so that he who wins goes to represent them. And I'm putting it on record. Matthew never won 2024 elections because there was overvoting in most of the police stations.
Right.
In some police stations, we recorded 1,400 votes.
Right, Stephen Bordeaux, thank you very much for your time this evening. That's the youth wing member in the Pandai constituency for the governing National Democratic Congress. Let's bring in the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the party, Tanko Rashid Computer. Mr. Computer, grateful for your time this evening. Has this matter come to your notice, the youth wing of your party in the Pandai constituency protesting against the recent ruling by the Supreme Court in the Pandai parliamentary election results matter?
Very well. Let me say good evening to you and your cherished listeners. Indeed, it came to our notice this afternoon. And let me use your platform to appeal to the youth in Pandai to be patient, to exercise maximum restraint, and then they should know that leadership is with them. And then we are working around the clock. We appreciate their grievances towards the ruling, and then not that leadership is folding its arms. We are doing something about it, and they should be a bit patient. The party will not abandon them. The party is monitoring the situation. We are waiting for the 5th February ruling, which is coming on Friday. When we take the ruling, our lawyers will study it and advise us appropriately.
You say leadership is with them. I just spoke to the one of the youth wing members. He says that all the elections that Matthew Nyindam has won in the Pandai constituency were rigged in his favor. Is that something that the leadership of the NDC also backs?
Of course, that has been our rendition all along. The interview I granted with you people, we've been very consistent in that. He didn't win the election genuinely. Look, let's not forget that what happened at the Supreme Court had nothing to do with the substance of the matter. It was purely on technical basis. You filed outside the stipulated 21 days. You should have filed on this day. You use this gazette instead of using this gazette, but not the substance it matter, which was adjudicated at the Tamil High Court, which indicated that the election was rigged. That one there, we cannot step that aside. So they are talking about that rigging machinery that propelled Nyindam into parliament. And so if Nyindam and his people are jubilating, they are jubilating on technicalities, not the substance. It doesn't vitiate what happened on that day in Pandai. And so they should be patient. We are appealing to them. They are our supporters. They are party people. They should be patient and look up to leadership.
Have you had the chance to communicate with them directly on this matter?
Yes, I'm trying to get hold of them, talk to them. We have our regional chairman, who is the regional minister. He's on top of the issue. We've also spoken to the constituency chairman. He's appealing to them. They are all talking to the youth to exercise maximum restraint. And then they shouldn't allow the NPP to provoke them. They should take it easy. I mean, we are waiting for the ruling, which is coming on the 6th.
Rashid Tanko Computer, thank you very much. He's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the governing NDC. And let's take you to the camp of the NPP. And earlier I brought you the story about the chairman of the Council of Elders of that party, Hackman Owusu Agyemang, who is calling for an end to monetization of internal party elections, warning the phenomenon could affect quality of leadership in Ghana. And let's go into the telephone lines right now and speak to anti-corruption crusader Vitus Azim, who is joining us. I understand we're yet to get Vitus Azim on the line, and we're trying to connect with him to ask him a few questions about what he feels should be the way forward. You're still listening to News Night on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra and across our affiliates in this country. And I understand we have Vitus Azim on the phone right now. Grateful for your time, Mr. Azim. Of course, this is not a new issue. It has been a raging issue that keeps coming up every election cycle. Now, the chairman of the Council of Elders of the NPP is saying that this could be a big problem if it's not dealt with. Really, why are we unable to deal with the issue of monetization in our politics?
We are not able to deal with it because the people who are in a position to deal with it benefit either directly or indirectly from it. You see, before, especially for delegates conferences, the top people already have their choices, probably because they like the person or because of influence and probably financial influence. So when you have influenced by the candidate, you find it difficult to tell the candidate to influence other people as well. That's one thing. But the other thing is, what action can you take against anything? Because sometimes it's even difficult to prove. And there are some party executives who come out and say, oh, it was just for transport, it was just for lunch. Even when they provide buses to bring them and provide them takeaway, they still give that excuse. So it's like the party hierarchy itself supports it. And that's why it's difficult to handle it.
Of course, and Hackman Owusu Agyemang was speaking in the context of the just gone by presidential primaries by the opposition New Patriotic Party. I want to believe that you monitored that election. Did you hear any incident of vote buying?
Unfortunately, I didn't monitor it, but from the news, I think there were some instances. And you see, vote buying is not necessarily on the day of the voting. You know, one of the candidates said he was paying parliamentarians every month a certain amount of money. That also amounts to vote buying. So they are not your employees. So why are you paying them something like a salary, a monthly salary? So even if that day there was no vote buying, that doesn't mean that there wasn't vote buying at all. Because even the night before is always the most important day for Celtics. People go around in the night and distribute cloths, phones, various things, and even promises for appointments if they win. So vote buying is not a one-day affair.
Right, Vitus Azim, thank you very much. He's an anti-corruption campaigner. Let's now bring in Dr. Asa Asante, who is a political scientist. Grateful for your time, Dr. Asante. This issue of vote buying has been very rife. Do you think it contributed to the outcome of the results that we witnessed last Saturday?
Oh, obviously. What was disturbing was the fact that your network broadcast it, saying how much people are paying and all that. The type of inducement always takes some of the shine of election away. Because remember, we are talking about game of numbers. And if you get a few people even who are influenced by money, it can also turn the tide in favor of Congress. So it's a worse thing to happen to a democracy.
Right, and of course, there has been some changes, some patterns in the current results that we received. For example, Dr. Baumia getting less votes than he did in 2023. Let's look at that particular issue of him not getting more than the 61% that he received in 2023. Do you think that this points to a wider division within the New Patriotic Party? Because there was tough competition as well.
So obviously, it's a manifestation of something that went wrong. Because if he commands such, vote in the party, his votes will soar up than what we saw as a dwindle vote. So it tells you that something went wrong. Either it's in protest, or there are people who believe that they don't want to give their vote to, and that maybe the competition is much thinner this time around. A whole lot of factors. But the important thing is that since he has won, that one, you put it behind you and you move on. Because whatever it is, he has won the primaries. And that what is ahead of him is 2028. So now we must see him working to make sure that all the disgruntled, all the affected people, all those who have one issue or another against the party himself and the rest of them, he's able to put them together and then smoke the peace path. Beyond that, he's able to also prepare himself for the numerous things that he has said relative to where his son is, that is the economy and all that. And how, when they were in office, how it turned out. All these things are going to feature strongly in the campaign. And then above all, you want to make sure the party is in a proper position to mature all resources and prosecute the 2028 agenda.
Dr. Asante, grateful for your time this evening. Let's now bring in the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition NPP, Haruna Mohammed. Grateful for your time this evening. Haruna, when you look at the results that came, especially from the Ashanti and Eastern regions, two of the strongest holds of your party, it appears that your candidate did not have the footing, the authority in the votes as one would have expected. Now, going into the general elections, how are you as a party trying to redeem these votes in two of your strongest holds for your candidate in 2028?
Thank you very much. I would like to say good evening to your cherished listeners and followers on the social media. May I ask whether you are speaking to the data on this presidential primaries or the 2024 general elections?
On this one?
On this one. In this election, we use the internal party people to vote. In the 2028 election, it is going to be the entire country, not the delegates within our party. So the responsibility on Dr. Bawumia is to be able to garner the total votes within the country, as in the citizens, not the delegates. The reason why I am differentiating this is because these are party members who are to decide among the five. I remember in the last election, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did not have a competitor from the Eastern region. Again, in the last election, he had only one competitor from Ashanti region. Now he has two competitors from Ashanti region. So you don't expect him to get the same number of votes from within the party's contest as he went for the 2023 elections. But notwithstanding all that fact, I think that these are members of the party who will be coming together now to garner the votes for the party in the 2028 general election. So using this particular data might not be able to give a complete analysis and reflection of what is going to happen on the ground.
Right, Haruna Mohammed, thank you very much. That's the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition NPP. Let's stay a bit longer on the NPP election, and this time around do some analysis on the performance of the top running candidates' regional performance in the Saturday election. And Caleb Ziblim with our research desk is joining me for more. Caleb, it looks like the candidates are alternating in terms of gains and losses across the regions. What really does the data tell us?
Yes, Ken. So we know that in the 2026 presidential primaries for the NPP that is ended, Dr. Bawumia dropped his votes count from the 2023 election. Dr. Bawumia dropped his votes count from the 2023 election by about 7,000 votes. And then Kenneth Gyasi also dropped by about 25,000 votes. And then Brian Achampong, the first time, got 36,000 votes. So all of this together created a situation where Brian Achampong took significant portion of the votes in certain regions, while Dr. Bawumia had to, forfeit some of the votes in other regions. When you're talking about the top regions where Dr. Bawumia gained compared to the 2023 election, it was the Greater Accra region, the Western region, the Bono region, the Savannah region, the Central, and the Northern regions. So these were the regions where Dr. Bawumia gained compared to the 2023 presidential primaries of the NPP. Then when we look at the regions where he lost votes, we have the Eastern region, the Ashanti region, the Volta region, the Western North, the Upper West, Upper East, Ahafo region, the Oti region, Bono East region, and the Northeast region. So these are all the regions where Dr. Bawumia lost votes compared to the 2023 presidential primaries for the NPP. And if you look at most of these regions, they were won by, closely contested by either Brian Achampong. And if you look at the data, it shows that Brian Achampong actually won most of the regions at the northern belt. So the northern region, Savannah, Brian Achampong keenly contested Dr. Bawumia in those regions, and he came up second. He was first in the Volta region, while Kennedy Gyasi was first in the Central region. So again, these were the regions where Dr. Bawumia lost compared to his 2023 results, and also gained compared to the 2023 results.
Caleb Ziblim is our research desk member. Thank you very much. Now, moving on, the Coalition Against Illegal Mining is maintaining pressure on local authorities over illegal mining activities, insisting on the removal of municipal chief executives and district chief executives in areas heavily affected by illegal mining. Despite the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS is intensifying its operations. Now, over the weekend, NIMOS operation targeted illegal miners operating along the Butre River in the Ahanta West District and other affected areas in the western and eastern regions, seizing 16 excavators and destroying 20 Shamfan machines along with 10 pumping machines. Erastus Asaridonko has more in this report.
NIMOS initiated a major raid on illegal miners who had blocked portions of the Butre River and its tributaries, mining within the basin. The miners bolted, but a search conducted at the site, christened Agenda 111, revealed 7 pump-action guns and 12 rounds of ammunition. Some explosives found at the site were destroyed by experts on the task force. 16 excavators were seized from separate illegal mining camps in the Ahanta West and Etiwa West districts of the Eastern region. The team raided illegal mining camps at the rubber plantation at Ahanta Besiase and Abasi Tumentu at Cape 3 Points. In Ahanta West, within Cape 3 Points Forest Reserve, a man who identified himself as Bright Mensa on board a white pickup with registration number GT829924, who claimed ownership of the illegal mining site, attempted to bribe the team with 20,000 cedis. He and 4 of his colleagues were arrested and handed over to the Ebra police station in the Aguna Nkwanta district. NIMOS also raided illegal mining sites at Mampong Sankubiase in the Etiwa West district, where they seized 6 excavators in illegal mining along the stream Asukoko, a tributary of the Brim River. 20 Shamfan machines were burnt at Fiachi in the Ahanta West district of the Western region. NIMOS also disrupted mining along the Achem-Techiman Highway in the Eastern region. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaridonko, Kumasi.
And meanwhile, despite the work by NIMOS, convener for the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Kenneth Gyasi, argues while the fight has intensified, efforts by local authorities' oversight remains inadequate.
Late last year, the MC for Tano North, Pius Opoku, disputed reports of illegal mining at Adroba BC, polluting the rivers Subri and BC tributaries.
The MCs, the DCs are the president's representative in those communities. They are the chairpersons of the district or municipal security committees. They also, where there are mining committees in those districts and in municipalities, they are the heads of them. And so when Galamsey is happening in those communities, and then what are they doing as representatives of His Excellency the President? And we know that His Excellency himself had said one of the major KPIs so far as the fight against this illegality was concerned was going to be holding our MCs and our DCs accountable. Unfortunately, to date, we've not seen anything like that happening. And some of these arrests that NIMOS has done, they are all happening within districts. And there are district MCs and DCs who are responsible. You go into places like Dunko, for example. The MC who is there, he's giving tax to excavators to go and do illegal mining, to go and do mining. Ask him whether he's checked whether all of those excavators that he's giving tax to are all doing legal mining. And so they need to support the president in his effort, because in as much as Galamsey is a national problem, the solution to it is local. And we need to start, they are the first people we should be holding accountable.
That's Kenneth Gyasi. He is the convener of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining. Let's bring in Ebenezer Adu, who is the MC for Ahanta West. Grateful for your time this evening. Your area is one of the hotspots for Galamsey. And of course, many MMDCs have been accused of doing very little to fight the menace. Why is that?
Good evening and thanks for having me. Galamsey is a holistic thing that we should all look at it collectively. And just like Ken Ashibwe said, before appointment, the president made it known to every MC that Galamsey is part of our KPIs. So if you have a Galamsey issue in your area, then the onus lies on you as a municipal chief executive to make sure that as the head of MUSEC, you fight it. And basically that is what I know that every person is doing, especially when it comes to the Western region. In my area, just like you said, when we came, there were a host of people mining on the river Butri. As I'm talking to you now, I can confidently tell you that people don't mine on the Butri again. We've been able to raid off the Galamseyers from the Butri River. The challenge we are having now is the Kpandai Point Forest area. So I am so happy that NIMOS has come in to support us to do this operation. And for NIMOS, they don't work in isolation. NIMOS is a security agency. And when NIMOS are coming to your municipal, they will inform you because we give them the leads. We tell them where they have to go. And basically, that is what we've been doing collectively together. And for this raid that they did in Ahanta West, for 3 days they've been in the forest areas. They've been in the banks of the Mpoho border with me, and then they've been able to make sure that such success have come in.
And Kenneth Gyasi is calling for the heads of MMDCs whose areas have Galamsey going on. And of course, your area is one of the hotspots. Is that something you agree with him, that MMDCs whose areas Galamsey continue to happen should be sacked?
What he says that, I think that he's been unfair to the MMDCs. I think that what Ken should have said was, if an MC is involved in Galamsey, then it means that that person is going contrary to what the president wants us to fight. Because as I told you, fighting Galamsey is a collective effort. And for me as a person, as a mining engineer, how I understand the mining processes, I believe that with this cooperative mining coming in and making sure that people mine responsibly, definitely the Galamsey activities are going to go down. So I believe that if the MC is not directly involved in the Galamsey activities, because at the end of the day, the MC is the head of the municipal MUSEC. We also have our challenges. That is why when the challenges are beyond that, we go to RESEC.
Right. I want to thank you very much. Ebenezer Adu is the MC for Ahanta West. Let's briefly speak to Mahmood Kabori. He's the spokesperson of the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. Mahmood, grateful for your time this evening. There have been concerns that although the fight seems to be happening, but it's not intensive enough, and it's emboldening Galamseyers to continue to destroy our water bodies and our natural resources. Resources. What is your ministry, the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, doing differently to ensure that we get rid of this menace once and for all?
Thank you very much. Good evening to you, and thanks so much for having me. I think it will be very unfair to say the measures, so to speak, the policy interventions being put in place is not as bold as we wanted. For me, these policies are working and they are giving results, and so probably we'll say it's just the timing. There's been a year that we started implementing some of these policies, and we don't expect to get the full results that we're looking for. Others will say a tree that has been grown crooked for years cannot be spitting in morning, and so we need a bit of time for some of these interventions to really bear the fruit that we're looking for. For instance, in just a year, your 9 no-go forest reserve has now been cleaned and repossessed for the state. And that's when the Forestry Commission moves, they make NPP and do their routine checks. For me, it's a great achievement. In just 1 year, yesterday I was in the River Amanzule in the Western region, and you could see the Amanzule has come back to its pristine position of running very clear, justifying that policies the minister has kept in place is yielding positive results.
Right, Mahmoud Kabari, thank you very much. That's the spokesperson of the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. That brings us to business, and George Riafi is here with the latest. George, what have you got for us?
Well, Kenneth, coming up in business, some oil marketing companies flout the National Petroleum Authority directive of not selling various products below a certain price. And the Ghana Railways Development Authority unveils a new master plan to support haulage in the mining industry. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials, Synthesis tanks, and Pepsodent, Herbal and Charcoal.
Who at a spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information.
MTN.
Hey, Andrea. Challenge these days, new level crowd. Where did you pass?
Me, pass somewhere. I just switched for a better life. Hey. I switched for comfort. Look, your salary deserves better.
Switch?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I switched my salary account to Fidelity Bank. Oh, okay. And that's my jackpot. I get higher loan amounts with lower interest rates, as well as personalized financial support. They gave me a loan to expand my side hustle, and the terms are just flexible.
Wow.
Your salary deserves better. Oh,
my salary deserves better, Pa. You see the way you are smiling wide? Yes, I will switch and smile wider. Your salary deserves better. Switch to Fidelity Bank today and enjoy lower interest rate, car and home loan, personalized financial support, and a smile that lasts. Switch and smile wider. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I lay aside, Fidelity.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school. A farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil. still quality and affordable fuels for all.
If you want quality, this be where you belong. Hey, tough, hey, strong. Oh, gonna shout and sing the song. When the sun they hot, syntax no break. When the rain they fall, still no shake. Builders they choose and plumbers they prove. Any project you they start.
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, some oil marketing companies are not complying with the National Petroleum Authority directive or not to sell fuel below a certain price. We have details in the following report.
The National Petroleum Authority has today announced its fuel price floor for the first pricing window of February 2026. Based on a circular cited by Joy Business, no oil marketing company should sell a litre of petrol below 9 cedis, 99 pesos, while diesel should also not go below 10 cedis, 95 pesos. However, checks by Joy Business show that some oil marketing companies are pricing their products below the floor announced by the market regulator. The National Petroleum Authority had earlier argued that this policy would help bring sanity into the industry and prevent the collapse of some oil marketing firms in the country. In a separate development, the top two oil marketing companies are strictly sticking to the price floor when it comes to petrol. Star Oil and Guel are both selling a litre of petrol at 9 cedis, 99 pesos. The two firms have also adopted discounted pricing at some of their services stations across the country.
And that is a Business Desk report. Meanwhile, oil marketing companies want the National Petroleum Authority to crack the whip when it comes to market compliance, especially in the area of checking unadulterated products. Gabriel Kumi is the chairman of the chamber.
That's the backstops with the regulator to crack the whip and really make sure that the policy you have put in place is working and is working properly. I think the source of all this problem is the fact that that policy is not working properly. And the source of that policy, the reason why we have that policy is because of some illegalities, illegal products that found itself in the market that were being priced so low that it was really negatively affecting people who were doing genuine businesses. Okay? So these are the problems that must be tackled. You see, illegal products and third-party products, these are the real cancer of the industry that is eating everybody up. And these are the reasons why the floor pricing came to be. So we will urge the regulator to be up and doing on that. Check those illegalities. Once those are checked, I tell you, 80% will be solved.
Gabriel Kumi is the chairman of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Still on the sector, Vivo Energy is promising customers more than just fuel, but also premium products and round-the-clock convenience at their service stations. The oil marketing firm discloses to Joy Business after it unveiled a new Shell service station at the Michelle Camp on the Tema Kosombo Road. Christian Lai is the managing director of Vivo Energy Ghana.
And what we're trying to show here, I think we can all see, it's an example of what we call mobility. It's more than just selling fuel. Last year in November, we did launch our new and improved Shell fuel, but it's also about not only fueling the vehicle, but fueling your health, fueling your life. So we even have a pharmacy, we even have food, and we have a shop here. So it's to give the community in this small area that we have a different convenience for the people that transient here or stay around here, so that they can come and fuel their cars and their body. We already have sites that are open 24/7 at airport, for example, and in some other areas. We just don't want to rush. We're doing it in a smooth transitional way. So more and more, I think we mentioned here also, we'll see what is the needs of the customer. And for us to be able to open 24 hours, we should also bring the value to the customer for them to come and shop for 24 hours.
Kusala is the managing director of Vivo Energy Ghana. The Ghana Railway Development Authority has developed a new railway master plan aimed at supporting the haulage in the mining resources of the country. The new move is to help reduce the burden of moving mining freight from road transport as well as diversifying the country's transportation. The Chief Executive of the authority, Dr. Frederick Apo, explains plans to secure the required investment for the plan.
In Ghana, the most profitable line in Ghana is the Western Corridor. That goes from Hamale all the way to Takoradi Port. So the idea is that if we are going to more or less sell this product, we must sell this product to private investors. We must be able to guarantee them return on investment without guaranteeing them sovereign guarantee. We are not offering any sovereign guarantee, but there must be off-take agreement, off-take guarantee from the mining site to attract the market to do that. So the purpose of this line, more or less aligned to the old line, but we are now focusing on connecting the mining sites, okay? And we are also connecting the mining site, not just on the Western Corridor, but similarly, we are connecting to the Shene Jasikan area, as well as Bogatanga, where we have got a deposit of manganese as well.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apo. Now, the Association of Ghana Industries has described the cut in the policy rate as needed to help reduce the cost of credit in the country. The Bank of Ghana last week cut its key lending rate to about 15.5%, said Chuma Kabwa is Chief Executive of the Association of Ghana Industries.
I think it's in order because we've all been monitoring the macroeconomic environment and the indicators are all pointing to a positive end, and therefore we're indeed expecting that the policy rate will drop, and indeed it dropped, and it dropped significantly from about 18 to 15.5%, and that for us was positive. So we welcome it, and we think that it should have the necessary impact that we all expect. Yes, I think that the expectation and the projection for the reference rate to come down to about 15.68 or so is also in the right direction. Indeed, we are expecting that to be so. We want it to drop because it's a major point of reference and a benchmark for the banks to fix their lending rates. And when the policy rate drops, we actually expect the interest rate to also drop. Even not in a proportionate manner, at least significantly, we expect it to drop. And if you look at the data,
Seth Chum Akabwa is Chief Executive of the Association of Ghana Industries. And that's all for business on Newsnight.
Well, thank you very much, George. Sports is next, and Benaya is here with the latest. What have you got for us?
Well, taking you to the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko because they lost over the weekend and their head coach is not happy. And Karim Zito did not hide his frustrations after they lost 3-1 to Heart of Lions in Kpandai, a result that caused them the chance to move second on the Ghana Premier League table. Now, speaking after the game, Zito criticized his wingers, admitting he was disappointed with the overall output in the match.
Well, this is football for you. I wasn't expecting this score because seriously, we prepared well for this game. And most especially the set pieces they scored every 2 goals. Because we've been practicing how to defend and how to attack on set pieces. So maybe today is one of those days in football. I wasn't, as I said from the beginning, I wasn't expecting this result, but this is football for you. And when you look at our wide wingers, they didn't operate the way I wanted them to do. You understand me? But it's like, it will be okay till later on that I try to change, you know. Because goals are easily scored through the wings. Today my wingers did not do well. So that brought these issues all together.
All right, so that's Karim Zito there. He's clearly not happy with his forwards and his put them under the bus, as you would say. So.
Who is he blaming anyway?
So he's blaming his wingers, the forwards, saying boy said no Mudiagro like here. He's not happy with them.
So who is he? So who is he reporting it to? Is he not the coach? He has to whip them in line.
Yeah, he has to put them in line, but he's telling them that they need to do better when they're on the pitch. Sometimes these coaches, when they're under pressure like this, they want to shift the blame to the players. That's interesting. All right, so that's it for sports, Kenneth.
Right, Benaya, thank you very much. And the Tono and Via irrigation dams, once reliable lifelines for dry season farming in the Upper East region, are now under growing threat. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall, and prolonged dry spells linked to climate change are reducing water levels and disrupting carefully planned irrigation schedules. The dams are being pushed beyond what they were originally designed to handle, and farmers are constantly racing against time to avoid post-harvest losses. For climate evidence today, here's a Joy News special report by Albert Sori.
The Tono Dam, located in Navrongo in the Kasna Nankana municipality, and the Via Dam, located in the Bongo district, have for decades sustained thousands of smallholder farmers, designed to support dry season farming and stabilize food production in one of the country's most climate vulnerable zones. Today, however, that lifeline is under increasing threat. According to the Irrigation Company of Upper Region, ICOR, which manages both facilities, rising temperatures and erratic rainfall have made it increasingly difficult to operate the irrigation schemes as planned. Dominic Anargede is acting managing director of ICOR.
So because of rise in temperatures resulting from climate change, then the surface level of the water becomes so hot. So it is estimated that monthly basis we will lose about 2.5 million cubic meters of water just due to evaporation alone.
At the same time, climate change is driving a quieter but equally significant trend: migration toward the water sources.
At the Via Dam, for instance, it was estimated to be about 10% silted. The Tono here is also silted because climate change has pushed some farmers to now want to farm around the buffer zone, and that also pushes some debris into the dam. We have been fighting that.
Downstream in the lowlands under the Tono irrigation scheme, farmers are facing mounting uncertainty. Some currently risk losing their crops because ICOR must halt water supply to allow for canal cleaning and maintenance ahead of the dry season farming window.
They have a calendar that will start now and end at this time. So if the farmer is not able to fall in line with the ICOR calendar, then at the time his crop will still need water. That is the time ICOR might want to carry out maintenance.
We don't start the season early. The rain pattern too, it doesn't come early, or it comes and goes off. Those are the challenges that we are facing from the project. And if it happens like that, we have low yield.
Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sori, Tono, Upper East Region.
This story is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.
Let's take you to the courts now, where the embattled Chief Executive Officer of Men's Gold Ghana, Nanapia Mensah, also known as Nam1, has told an Accra High Court that he was properly authorized to operate as a gold mining company. Nam1 is facing 39 charges, including selling gold without a license, fraudulent breach of trust, defrauding by false pretense, and money laundering after allegedly using his company to defraud unsuspecting individuals. My colleague Fatao Bayaga was in court and joins me in the studio with more. Fatao, did Nam1 give any evidence in court to back this claim?
Not at all, but he's been giving some explanations. Ken, the case presided over by Justice Ednam Awo Kwadam and General Jurisdiction 14 of the Accra High Court, where Nam1 went through cross-examination, during which he maintained, Ken, that that contrary to the prosecution's claims, his company, A2, thus Men's Gold, was duly licensed and incorporated to engage in gold mining and purchasing, value addition and export activities. So Ken, he went forward to say that the company initially applied to the then Precious Minerals Marketing Company, PMMC, completed the required documentation, paid the relevant fees and underwent regulatory scrutiny before being granted a license to operate. So the counsel for the prosecution can then ask him to provide evidence to all of these licenses that he said he has. Namwan said he would do that during the next court agenda date. He explained that after the company was shut down by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko took over control of its offices. Many documents could not be accounted for, and that is affecting his ability to access valuable evidence in defense of the allegations that have been leveled against him.
Thank you very much, Fatao Bayaga there. Let's bring you some of the messages you've been sending to our WhatsApp console. BB from North Kaneshi says, I do not trust the intentions of some of the members of the coalition against Galamsey. Some are working for foreign entities who are against local participation in mining. There is conflict of interest by those working for the Chamber of Mines, and they are working against the interest of others. Are still waiting for their justice. NDC leadership, we are waiting for justice. This is a concerned citizen. He calls himself Solomon. He says, please, I am a floating voter, and I repeat, nothing can convince me to vote for any politician. Please, they are all the same. I have stopped voting since 2020. Those are some of the messages you sent to us on our WhatsApp. Thank you very much. That's the end of the show this evening. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Have a good evening.